All right, what's cracking here, buddy? So I'm gonna keep it real with you. If anybody comments about the wrinkles in my shirt, I'm blocking you. New video. So last night, I actually started a video, and I wasn't able to finish it. There was an interruption, so I'm gonna have to redo that video. So actually, right now, I'm gonna be late for work because I wanted to make sure that I had something for you guys today. Today is gonna be another Bulldog story. Hopefully, you guys aren't getting tired of it. One thing I noticed about when I tell the Bulldog stories is the Bulldogs in the comments know who I'm talking about. I'll either hear it in the comments or in an email, but they'll be like, I know that guy, this and that. Well, Fresno, do you guys remember Frown? I don't remember if Frown was actually from Fresno. I know he was a Bulldog, but I don't remember if he was from Fresno or not. But this is a story about a guy named Frown. Frown, as we go through the story, you're gonna see he was an unfortunate knucklehead. We're gonna call him that. So I was in reception, orientation in New Folsom, right? And Frown came from the hole, and he was in orientation with me. And I remember, that was at the time when there was a red light. And it's funny how people try to correct me. Don't you mean green light? No, a green light means go. A red light means stop. There was nothing going on with the Bulldogs and the Northerners. The Vatos were down south. We're supposed to take a step back and let them do their thing. Basically stay in a defensive posture, be on your toes. But we were also told if the Bulldogs needed help with something, to assist them, right? So, like I said, Frown came and he was in the orientation with me, which was one block A section back then, right, on B yard. And I remember, one thing I remember about, well, I remember a lot of things about him, but one thing that stuck out to me was as soon as we got there, when we went out to day room, he was at the table with us, and he was like, hey, you Vatos got my back, right? If these Vatos trip, you guys got my back, right? Because there were Northerners, Raza from Northern California, there in the day room. And we're like, yeah, we got you, Holmes, don't trip. You got to do something, But it was, he just, he always was like wanting to, it seemed like, but just more like, I got to keep an eye on them, but he wanted to make sure we had his back. It was a trip. So then, you're in orientation about 30 days or so, and then they kick you out to one of the other buildings. So, I don't remember what building he went to, but I went to 7 building, right? And not long after that, those of you that remember the story, I think I took it down. Those of you that remember the story that I told when there was an incident on the weight pile, this is how it went down. So Frown was walking the track one day, and apparently a couple vatos came from the hole, right? And they were raza from Northern California, and they were in the weight pile, and we had just gotten the weights back. Somebody had gotten killed in the weight pile, and the Huras took all the weights, and then everybody got together and discussed it. Well, those that needed to get together to discuss it, and said, hey, let's fucking come to an agreement. We won't do nothing on the weight pile. Then they approached the administration and like, look, we all agree that, business is going to be business, but it's not going to be in the weight pile. So they brought the weights back, and that was the understanding. Nobody do nothing in the weight pile. And here comes Frown. So let's get to that. He was walking the track, and he noticed a couple of vatos that had came from the hole, and they came from C yard. And what I didn't know is Frown, when he had came out of the hole, he was on Sea Yard, and the raza from up north smashed him. They got off on him. They got him pretty good. You know what I mean? Stomped him out, I guess. And so when he was walking the track, he recognized him, and so he told his homies like, "Hey, those are two of the dudes that got on me. I gotta, we gotta do something about that." So they were like, "Okay," and Frown and two other bulldogs ran up in the weight pile, and two of the three were doing pretty good. Frown got beat up with a weight bar. The other two, I think one's name, I think was Sad Boy. That fool he was a boxer, so he was handling his business. I think the other one that went with him was Sapo. He was handling his business, and Frown was occupying some people. Poor dude got fucking beat over the head with a fucking curling bar. And they took our weights, and then, maybe I'll retell that story later about the weight pile thing. But they took the weights from the Northern Raza after that, right? And then fast forward some time, and there was a battle in one building. So when those three bulldogs went to the hole for that, when they all came back, they went in orientation again, which is in one block again. But that A section was orientation, B and C were regular mainline, right? So when Frown came back, they moved him in the B section in one block, right? And there happened to be a pretty well-known, like if I said his name, there would be a lot of people that know who he was. But it was a raza from Northern California, actually from Sacramento. And this guy used to hit the bag a lot. He used to hit a lot of dope. Every weekend he would hit dope, right? And he was kicking in to the vatos from down south, like out of respect, like, here, boom, here's something for you guys. So, to avoid drama, I guess that's why he was doing it. Well, Frown one day saw that guy was doing that, right? And Frown decided, well, if they're getting some, vatos from down south, they're getting some, I want some too. And Frown walked up to that guy on the tier, and he was like, "Hey, Holmes, check this out. You're going to start kicking into me, this and that." And Frown got boo-bopped. Frown got beat up again, eh? And, it pissed some people off. When he came back from the hole, they were like, "What are you doing, Holmes? You're fucking off our fed, lightweight hating, and then you got your ass whooped. You didn't even whack the dude. You just try to walk up on him and threaten him, and you got whooped for it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be doing shit like that." "Oh, all right, my bad." But Frown's not done. So a while later, I had told the story. It's in one of my videos. I don't remember the title. There was a vato from a Northern Raza that came, and he had whacked a vato from down south, a Southern Raza, before. And as soon as he landed on the yard, everybody knew. And if you remember the story, he made a comment to one of his people. I guess he felt his homies were being not I don't want to say meek, but they were being, I guess, more humble than he wanted. He wanted them to carry themselves with a little more arrogance. And so he was telling his homie while he was walking the track, like, "These vatos ain't shit." Talking about the raza from Southern California. "These vatos ain't shit. The one that I blasted, I had him screaming like a bitch." Well, somebody heard him, and so it was decided that dude got to go. So he got moved on, and he made it back into his cell, and then so that there was tension. And this was, again, during the time when there's not supposed to be any offensive moves against the raza from up north unless, there's a threat, and that vato made himself a threat, and so he got removed. But so the decision was made, okay, These vatos from Fresno and these vatos from up north are supposed to be at war, but they're sitting on this yard peacefully with each other. Neither side was moving on each other. So since there was tension, the Bulldogs were approached and it was like, hey, Holmes, there's a little tension right now, woo, woo. So whatever. And so the Bulldogs were like, look, all right, we'll get them all off the yard right now. So they sent 3 dudes, or 4, 3 or 4. Frown was one of them. And I'll give you guys a second to take a guess on what happened to Frown. Man, all the fucking Bulldogs that went down there were getting off. And Frown was occupying people again. They actually had to shoot somebody off of Frown. Frown was getting stomped out. After that incident, it did get all of the raza from up north removed from B facility and sent to C facility, where there was a problem. They had a problem there because the ones from C facility were like not having them dudes for staying on BR with Southerners and Bulldogs. But from that point on, like everybody made it a point to always pump up Frown to never get off again. It was like, Frown, hey, don't raise your hand no more, big dog. Hey, Frown, I apologize, big dog. If you see this, you gotta laugh, homie. You never won. You never won. Your homies were all getting off. They were handling their business every time. They were showing like, this is how we get down. And Frown was like, don't worry, homies. I got these guys occupied. But anyways, there's my story, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Start off the day with the laugh, all right? With that, I'm out. Oh, be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.